it begins. Hello, hello, and welcome.
Hi.
Welcome. How beautiful.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Let me go ahead and start today's show. I'm Linda BoudreauX, and you're watching The Extra Mile. And today we will be spending some time with Rita Lynn Jackson. She is a volunteer with the Iberville Museum, and we also have with us Coco CREPPEL, who is a member of the United HOUMA Nation, and we're really going to be talking about that today. So, Coco, Rita, thank you so much.
Thank you for inviting us.
Thank you, yes.
Thank you for setting the tone for the day. This was beautiful. So, Coco, what was that you sang for us?
That was a vocable song. It's just vocals. There's no words to it. But most of the songs we sing are prayer songs, and most of the songs we sing has Wakanta in it. Wakanta is God, the creator of everything. You know, Indian people were always spiritual people, and they were always praying and singing to God, you know, so.
And one thing I'm thinking as I hear you speak today is that we still have at least some of the HOUMA language with us in. Is that right? I mean, we've got some of the words.
Well, the HOUMA people and Muskogean people, it's a southern dialect tribe, and like the Choctaws and the HOUMAs, we spoke, Muskogean language, you know, down south, you know.
Okay, which is good because, you know, I think that as we keep languages or as we regain languages, we get kind of the nuances of a culture that we can't have without the words and the sounds. So thank you for that.
And you know, I tell people we students and we teachers because we learn from our elders, and we teachers because we teach our children.
Exactly.
You know, so.
we're all a part of it.
We learn it every day, right?
You got to give it, you got to get it.
Definitely.
And I guess, Rita, it's kind of speaking with you, you know, you're kind of giving and getting it too. I mean, you're a volunteer, and what is it you're doing, and how did you get involved in all this?
Well, several years back, our museum initiated a cultural series called...
And your museum is the
Iberville Museum in Plaquemine, Louisiana.
Okay.
We initiated a cultural series on the people of Iberville. And so we've done several of them, and then we were going to do the American Indians, and along with that I thought, oh God, wouldn't it be wonderful to have a powwow? So I talked to our mayor, and he had had the same vision for years. And so we partnered with the Louisiana Indian Education Association, who is Pat Arnold, and worked together to bring it about.
So you had a powwow.
We did have a powwow. We had a beautiful powwow.
Great powwow, beautiful, very beautiful.
Unfortunately, we're talking to you after the powwow has passed, but maybe we'll do it again. But what happened this year? It happened in April, right? It just happened.
April of 6th and 7th.
Yeah.
But now we officially opened the American Indians of Iberville exhibit with that powwow, and it was really so wonderful because the Indians came home to... I know. The Indians came home to open their exhibit. And, you know, through this, I just feel like it's a lasting relationship. It's not just an event that passed, because a powwow is something very special, which I learned. And
well, a powwow is later on it got the name of powwow, but it's also a festival that our people used to celebrate, like after a great hunt or a great, you know, crop, because the southern tribes mostly grew like corn and squash and things like that. You know, not all tribes were, you know, savages, as we've been called in the past. You know, we didn't all fight. We're peaceful tribes, you know. But a powwow was a celebration, and we'd have a great feast. And then later on it got the name of powwow because, you know, we all gathered together. But like she was saying, you know, when we came there, it was great. They did a wonderful job. You know, we come there and you meet people sometimes, but, you know, you don't know who you are when you meet them, but when you leave, you feel like family, and they treat us great.
It sounds like a big family reunion
Definitely,
to me. You know, like everybody coming together from all corners of the earth, you know, to get together to celebrate.
Yes.
That kind of, and it's a cultural celebration.
And it's great that way, because you meet people that, you know, new people, and they become family, or you get to meet the people that you met in the past, because I've been traveling for over 30 years, and God's been so good to me, because I done been from Hawaii to Florida and from Canada to Mexico, singing, dancing, and just, you know, I'm a little HOUMA Indian boy from the bayou, you know, and a lot of people think you're going to stay on the bayou, you go nowhere, you know, but I never accepted that, you know. God just blessed me, and you know, with my culture, and just been all over, and it's great, you know, and it's wonderful the job they did, you know.
It's pretty exciting.
You know, in doing the research for this exhibit, I thought it was going to be more historical. And oh God, was I wrong, because I became so emotionally involved and attached and enlightened by what I learned. And one thing that I learned is that in 1699, Iberville came to Iberville Parish in BOUDREAUX from Europe to settle Louisiana. And he brought with him a Jesuit priest, Father BOUDREAUX. Father BOUDREAUX's journal is available to read. And in that journal, he mentions the HOUMAs and the BOUDREAUX tribes and even the Chittimaches. But these people are not federally recognized. And I don't understand it, because in all of the research that I did, they were mentioned throughout the years. So, you know, I don't think that's fair, and I hope that changes soon.
And you're working toward that, are you?
Yes, I also sit on a tribal council. I'm a councilman for the United HOUMA Nation, and I represent the Jefferson Parish area. And we've been up for federal recognition. We've been fighting it. And the government is saying that we're not meeting all the criterias, you know, but...
What criteria do you need to meet that you're not meeting?
We're still working on that, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, but, you know, we've been preserving our culture, teaching our children, you know, and there's a certain area that things happen where they're saying that we are not related to the HOUMA Indians back in them 1699, that they had a gap between there and now. So this is one of the things we have to prove and things like that, you know.
If you get federal recognition as a tribe, what does that mean for your people?
Well, federal recognition as a tribe, as for me as a councilman, it would help out our children, you know, to get, you know, college degrees and things like that. We would have federal money coming in to help out our elders, because so many of our people in our tribe have to make a decision on, should I pay my light bill or should I get my medication, because they can't afford both, you know. But as a federal recognized tribe, there's certain funds out there that we would be able to help our people out, you know.
Is poverty then, you're saying that the funds would help, is poverty still more rampant among Native people than maybe other parts of the population? Is that kind of
There's a lot of places that you have, like, they talk about third world countries and things like that, but there's Indian reservation here in the United States that the poverty is so high that it's just as bad as third world countries.
Yeah,
you know?
And that's really what this is supposed to address and get rid of, alleviate,
right.
huh?
Mm-hmm. But our people were poor people, but we were so rich. We were blessed with so much. God gave us so much. Our people lived off the water. They hunt, they fish, they trap, you know, and we were just blessed, you know. And then we just move, you know. We had land like in Angola, you know, Baton Rouge. That's how our people marked that. Baton Rouge, red stick. HOUMA means red in Choctaw, and that's who we were. You know, and then we moved further down to the bayous, and our people live off the land. You know? Still to this day. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Some people still fish, hunt, and trap, you know, do these different things. And then some people move like to the bigger cities like Jefferson and LYNN and things like that, you know, and then got different jobs, you know, things
So
like
some people branch out, but your roots are always your roots, huh?
Mm-hmm, always.
So do you always
know.
feel that, you always kind of feel that pull to go back?
We have people that live all over the country, but they can't wait to get back home, you know. It's always.
Well, when we retire, we're going home, huh? What about, because you were saying earlier too, Rita, when you were at the powwow, that you know it was a spiritual experience for you, and I think for many people it is. What is that? What is that all about?
Well, it's hard to explain, but when the drum beats, the drum is in the center of that ring. It's a large drum, and it's the heartbeat of the powwow. And actually, when you get into the circle and begin to dance, it becomes a part of you. It's your heart. Your heart is beating with the drum, and I mean, it's very spiritual. I've heard of some people who have gone in there with illnesses even and come out feeling a whole lot better than when they went in.
So it's really, really powerful.
Right, it is. It is, and our community embraced these Indians. I was so proud and so happy. We wanted them to come, and we wanted to celebrate their culture with them. And like I said, it was just so neat to have them come home to open their exhibit. And the exhibit, it will run through June, the first week in June.
Okay.
So it's still available. We've had like 300 school children last Friday and several more groups coming in. It's very educational. We have artifacts from the BOUDREAUX tribe, the HOUMA tribe, and the Chittimaches. And then there's a general information about Louisiana Indians, and then a book display with bibliography for people to bring home so they can learn more about it. And our sponsors, we could not have done all of this without our sponsors. Dow Chemical, S&L Flowpine, Axial, A. Wilbert Sons in Plaquemine, Perry Verrett Investments, and Black Stallion Company all came together to provide funds to do this.
Well, it's a big, big undertaking. It really
Yes.
is. Now, Coco, you were there, and you were, I guess, kind of helped pull it all together.
Well, I was honored to be the head man dancer at the first powwow.
Okay,
And the head man
wow.
dancer is like the highest honor you can have, you know.
So you really
And
were?
you know, well, the head man dancer has to dance first, and then everybody else dance behind him. But he has to start each dance. And so it was great that I was, you know, invited to be the first head man dancer at the first powwow. And I've been traveling for over 30 years doing these things all over. And fit to be the first powwow, they put on it was awesome, I'm telling you.
Now,
They treated us great, and I mean, just spectacular.
Where did you learn? From your grandfather? Your
I learned from my
father?
grandfather and my father and different people, you know, in the tribe, and there's elders, you know, I mean, because we adopt grandfathers and grandmothers, you know, we look up to our elders, we always did, you know, and then certain things we learn from each person in our tribe, you know.
Was dance and music and the vocalization something that you were especially interested in as a child or attracted to, that kind of drew you?
I guess not so much growing up because, you know, I was living on a bayou, so I mean,
that's right, you were in this HOUMA bayou.
but as I
bowl,
got
so.
older, you know, hearing the music and knowing what it represents and stuff, the more I heard it, the more I got into it. And, you know, like I said, you know, I done travel all over the world, and, you know, it's just wonderful. It's a blessing. You know, God provides for us all the time. And, you know, I used to have a group called Southern Connection, and we used to sing all over. And as long as our expenses were paid, we wasn't in it for the money. We just got to go out and share, you know, and it was wonderful, you know.
Now, you brought a drum with you today. Maybe you could kind of hold that up so we could get a good shot of that again. This is an absolutely exquisite, it's a piece of art in and of itself. It really is. But tell us about the drum.
Well, this is drum. All our drums are made as a circle, which is a circle of life. As she was speaking about the drum beat, we as Indian people believe when we beat on a drum, it's the drum beat of Mother Earth. It's the circle of life. It never ends, you know. And as we beat, you feel the heartbeat, as she said.
I felt
you
it
know?
when you started drumming
Right.
at the beginning of today's show.
It's a spiritual thing. Indian people always been spiritual, even before Columbus. You know, I'm sorry I had to throw that in there, but you know,
Bring it to us. No, we didn't. Sorry.
you know. And as for myself, you know, I mean, as a Native person, I have my spiritual roots with my Native American roots, but I'm also I'm a Christian, you know, and there's a lot of times people don't understand how they can come together. Well, you know, Christ was always in us, you know, and so that's how I come together.
Yeah.
And I feel I get double blessings, you know. But this is the circle of life, and this one is called the Hunting Wolf. This was a gift that was given to me.
It's beautiful.
It's a red wolf, okay, and this is just a small hand drum. I make smaller ones, but there's no painting or anything on it. I made one like for my grandson and my son and things like that. But and this is made out of elk. You know,
Okay. Are all of your drums made out of elk? Or
no,
mostly-
some are made out of elk, some are made out of cow,
Okay.
you know, and some are made out of deer.
I guess whatever's handy, huh?
Right,
I mean,
whatever
you
was
gotta be able
handy
to
at
get
the
it.
time, right,
Yeah.
yeah. That's like the, you know, there's southern tribes and northern tribes. And there's Plains Indians and woodland Indians. We consider woodland Indians. We are down south. Our villages were made out of palmetto huts, grass huts, and things like that.
And you didn't travel, did you?
We didn't travel. We had a village and we stayed in a certain area. The Plains Indians are the Indians that live in a teepee, and they travel with the season. And as the buffalo moves, they packed up and moved. And it's amazing how big this village was with teepees that these people can just pack up in a matter of hours and get on their way.
Wow.
You know.
Yeah.
But you know, you speak to a lot of people and they think that all Indians live in teepees. You know, but no. You know,
only on TV.
Only on TV, right? You know. But we had a big village, you know, and we have like the chief's hut, and then we have smaller huts around, you know, and like I said, it was palmetto huts made out of grass and things. And even today, we still have people that make, in our tribe, that make crafts and stuff out of palmetto and moss and things like that.
So they'll make baskets? And
They're baskets. They'll make little moss dolls, because when the kids were growing up back then, they didn't have no Walmarts with toys and stuff. So you had to make your own little toys to play with, you know, so things like that.
And it's just beautiful work.
Oh.
Now, in addition to the drums, you do, your tribe does gorgeous gorgeous beadwork.
Beadwork.
So, and we have a shawl here that we're going to get a nice shot of. And somebody sitting next to me made this shawl.
Well, actually, I had the shawl itself made, and I have a dear friend who is very talented who makes her own appliques, and she helped me to learn to do this.
So that is absolutely exquisite. Now, did you use this shawl during the powwow?
Yes, it is. This is part of the regalia, and you know, in South Louisiana, we think of pageants and Mardi Gras balls, so we think of costuming. Well, this is not what the Indians wear, and what I learned was that this is regalia. It is everything that they wear, everything that the beads, everything is passed on for centuries. Tradition. There's a reason why everything is worn, and the dances that they do, and all that. But this was just a bonus, you know.
Well,
to learn another art.
It's a treasure to have. Does the design on it mean anything in particular?
Well, the design is the logo of the Plaquemine Powwow, and my friend Karen Kirby, who taught me to do this, actually designed. She hand painted that.
It's beautiful.
The logo.
Look at that earlier. It's a great logo.
And then she helped me duplicate it here on this shawl.
Well, it's a treasure. Now, Coco, you also came dressed in regalia today.
Well, this is not a regalia. This is just called a ribbon shirt. You know, this is mostly a dress-up shirt we use. And our regalias, which I'm a traditional dancer, northern traditional, I wear buckskin and, you know, a breechcloth. And I have feathers on my back, and it's called a big bustle. And what that is we have 4 different dance styles in the men. We have northern traditional, which I wear one bustle on the back. We have men's fancy dance, which has a bustle on the back and one on his shoulder. And he dances and spins and flips and things. It's called Indian aerobics. You know? We also have men's traditionals. As the men get older, they can't do all the spinning and dancing, so it's more of a slide, you know, like sliding on glass. It's more of a gentleman's dance, they call it. But the main thing is, we also have what's called the grass dancer. And the grass dancer is made with a lot of ribbon and a lot of yarn, look like grass hanging off of them.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And the reason they got their name as grass dancers, because when we would have a feast or festival or whatever, you would get 4 or 5 young guys to go out in a field and dance until they smash all the grass around and make a big circle. And that's how they got the name of the grass dancers. So. See,
everything has a reason.
Right.
Everything has a story behind it. Now, you're wearing some beads today, and I want to get a shot of your beads.
This is just the HOUMA colors, red, white, black, and yellow.
Okay, those are the HOUMA colors.
HOUMA colors,
okay.
Right. Now, a lot of tribes use the red, white, black, and yellow, and they also use like blue and green. And the colors are, the white is the north, where the cold comes from, you know, and it brings cold air, brings, you know, snow. The yellow is the east. That's where the sun comes up. It brings a new day, new beginning. You know? The red is the south, where the heat comes from. It brings the warmth. And then the black is the west, where the sun goes down. It brings the end of the day. And then you come back up in the east. And
The circle just keeps
circle
going.
of life. And some people also use blue, which blue is for Father Sky, and then the green is for Mother Earth, you know. And as for the powwow, for the circle, the opening is always to the east. We always enter in from the east,
That's right.
you know.
And again, that's because you are that is the beginning.
That's the
Do
beginning.
you
of,
end by going out through the west? or
No, as we finish, we exit the east,
Okay.
and you know.
Because you've completed the circle?
Right, you completed the circle.
I'm trying to understand the logic here. Because I know it has to make sense. It has to make a spiritual kind of sense. Is there a lot of interest among young people within the HOUMA nation in terms of learning about their culture, learning? Is there, you know, the kind of, I guess my word is pride. Is there a sense of pride? Because there is a resurgence of respect, I think, for Native Americans. And I think people are really much more interested and curious about the culture than they were 40 years ago. And I'm just wondering how that's affecting youth today.
Well, our youth today are very much involved. We actually have two dance teams, one called the Bayou Eagles and one called the Bayou Healers, and they go different places, and you know, they perform in different things and different festivals and things like that. And as for myself, I had a group, and then we had some dancers, and we got to play at Jazz Fest for 7 years.
Did you really?
Yes, it was awesome. Yeah, and as the HOUMA Indians, we still have a booth there. We sell what's called fry bread, an Indian taco, which fried bread is like a
Yum.
big beignet with powdered sugar on it.
Every culture's got one, I'm telling you.
So, and I was also, I have a food trailer that I do festivals, and I was doing the fried bread before I go dance. So
Well, you
I was
stay
flipping
really,
fried
really
bread and then
busy.
dancing. It's like, you know, so it was
You stay
awesome.
really, really busy,
Oh, yes,
don't you?
yes. Oh.
So for you, being a member of the tribe has really kind of enriched your life in many, many ways, hasn't it?
Oh, definitely, absolutely, yes. And also being on the tribal council, representing the people in my areas in Jefferson Parish. I represent the lower part of Jefferson, you know, and we travel different places to tribal meetings, and then, you know, we go back in our area and let the people know what's going on with the tribe, you know, and we go up to Washington and meet with different people, and now we're starting to have more people on board for us to get federal recognition from federal recognized tribes. You know.
So that will help too then.
Definitely, right.
So any idea?
But we have so many things that are, you know, that we're involved in, and you know, that I know we're having problems with the government to get federal recognized, but as an Indian nation and people, we are recognized by other tribes, and we are very respected. You know, as Miss Pat Arnold, she's HOUMA Indian, and she's you know, the representative for Indian, Indian Education?
Louisiana Indian Education Association.
Right. Okay. You know, and then we had the, you know, the federal government work with us to hurricanes and things like that. You know, so we being recognized in a certain way that we are a tribe. You know, but then in the other way we have to meet criteria that, you know.
Yeah, I just really thought you were already recognized as a federal tribe. You know, the last couple of minutes that we have, I do want to close today with you once again drumming and singing or chanting.
Okay, well, we'll do that. And this next song I'm going to sing is called Wakanta. Wakanda Kambita Banga, meaning thank you, God, thank you, Creator, for this day.
Okay, and before you do that, very quickly, the exhibit is open until when?
The first week in June.
Okay, so
And school groups are invited. It's free.
It's in Plaquemine?
It's in Plaquemine on Main Street.
Go.
And once again, I just want to thank Miss Rita and the you know, the mayor and everything of Plaquemine for doing such a great job, and the way they treat all, you know, all our people for coming there, and it was just wonderful. We can't thank them enough.
We thank you.
Thank you for inviting us.
Let's hear it.